Good morning, my fellow yogic travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today, and I hope that you are too, as we continue to live, laugh, love, learn, linger, and live the life we love. I refer everything back to yoga because that's where I feel I have the most authenticity in talking about my own life experience and trying to make a big enough umbrella that whoever's listening to this can connect it to something going on in their life, and you find your own yoga. Remember, the word yoga means union, both the path that leads to the union and the union itself. It comes from a Sanskrit word yuj, Y-U-J, which means to yoke. So we're trying to harness the powers of our own instinctive nature to self-reflexive consciousness. It's a burning effort under all circumstances to attain this one definite goal. And if you do it, you will feel the unity that is in the diversity and the universality that is in everyone's individuality. That's the vision of union, isn't it? So, first I say open up your senses, right? This is a sensate experience. Every one of your senses is an erogenous zone. So take in the beauty and the love through your eyes, your smell, your touch, your taste, your sight, your sound, and so forth. So the idea is, in yoga, to experience the two initiatory deaths. The first one is the death of your childhood into becoming an adult, and there are so few people who really want to be an adult and mature. And then the second one is the death of the body and the identification with yourself as living spirit. In fact, the purpose of life, from yoga's point of view, is the conscious realization of your identity as living spirit. So it's not restoring something that was lost in terms of the old, because the status quo never wants a change. We're talking about a radical ontological shift in one's not only identity, but how one comports oneself in one's life. And since the familiar is not the field of significant action, you have to break away. You have to drop out, as we used to say in the hippie days. And then you got to find out that there's aspects of self-induced recovery that are not dependent upon treatment, something that you can do for yourself. Sacrifices there must be, but it doesn't mean you have to give up your family. But you do have to make time to create a health mindset through study, through practices, through being in nature, through your prayer, through whatever you do, but you do it all to connect to spirit. Now, in the West, we've often thought that the fall from the garden represents the ultimate sin from Adam of disobedience, but in the East, it's about ignorance of our true nature, self-realization. Nature has never been fallen in the East. And so we have to look at how organism goes with the environment in a very, very different way. And then remember that we all have an interactive relationship with the world around us. We all have the power to restore decency in the world. In other words, everyone is a goodwill ambassador, and you have to take that job seriously. Now, once you start to do that, you become a coach for other people. Even if you're not charging money and hanging your shingle out, there are things you can do as a coach, which is to create an environment in which other people can flourish when they're around you. You have to convince other people of their own autonomy, that they have talent, and they can do the job. So that way, you're not stuck at the third chakra and worrying about how do I play with power, because if you're afraid of power, then it gets a bad name, because most people understand people using power over other people. But once you use your power on behalf of other people, it changes the whole game completely. So you can decide on strategic strategies, you can collaborate with people, you can delegate, and then you can let people innovate. And that's the way you make them feel that you've recognized the gem of potential that they are. And then the people around you are like a constellation of stars. And they all shine brightly, and they shine more brightly because you recognize what their worth is. Everybody likes to be told good things about themselves. So turn your gaze, turn your vision to where you see the light that's in the other person. And that will definitely guide you. as well as guiding them. And then you'll understand a little bit about the unlit candle gets lit by a lit candle. Go thou and do likewise.